Welcome to the latest installment of the Run to Daylight Show. I'm your host, Todd Burrows, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about exposure. We're going to study what the DFS guys do, some of the top players in the world, and we're going to compare what translates from best ball to DFS, DFS to best ball. Um, this is kind of a passion project for me, this whole thing about exposure. And I've gotten some significant pushback on Twitter because I mentioned it too much. But then I get to hear people complain about how their season's ruined. But the biggest thing I want to show here is that you can have plenty of risk without having plenty of ownership on any one player. It's about building good lineups. And we're going to use DraftKings Millionaire Maker as the template for what the DFS guys do, because we want to have a comparison that's similar to what's going on over at Underdog with the Best Ball Mania. And speaking of Underdog and the Best Ball Mania, there's 2 weeks of drafting left. That's right, folks. It's almost over after 6 months. BBM3 is over 70% filled. Remember, always be drafting. There might be overlay on this puppy. Oh, wait, it's not the puppy. It's Best Ball Mania. Anyway, there's only 2 weeks left to draft, folks. Let's get this going. Let's get into the lobby. I still have about 25 Best Ball Manias to go, and you might see me in the draft room. Underdog has plenty of other contests. If you want to play higher stakes, the big dog for 250 is out there. And if you get in the top 33%, I just saw that man sucks. Anyway, Underdog Fantasy, go there. If you haven't done it before, if you haven't signed up, if you've been under a rock, go there, use the code BESTBALL, and they will match your first $100 deposit. That's right. Put in 100, get 200. That's 8 Best Ball Manias to try and win $2 million with another million possible for having the highest score on the year. Too much public exposure will get you in trouble. Absolutely. Let's try. Yeah, we're going to try and avoid that. All right, so let's share the screen. There you go. All right, so this is something that Roto Grinders gives away for free. It is it's called Results DB. It's powered by Fantasy Labs. It's a contest dashboard. They changed it. I don't like the changes all that much, but what you're going to be able to see here is the players: McLovin, Petty Theft, The Whistle, Goo Woo, Awesomeo, Giant Squid, B. Kreider, Al Smizzle, Papa Gates, and Chipotle Addict. I threw Al in for old time's sake. He is the OG of the Millionaire Maker, a former millionaire winner himself. And so what we're going to do is look at their ownership by position and position group. So you'll be able to see what the field did. The field, and again, let's talk about some of the differences. First of all, the biggest one is when you sign up for a week of DFS, you know pretty much that your guys are going into that week healthy, and everyone has pretty much the same amount of chance of lasting through the week, right? We're not as concerned that much about in-game injuries, where in best ball, we really need to focus on it because your guy has to stay healthy all year, right? The difference in projections between a Jalen Hurts and a Kyler Murray. Perfect example. These two are going right next to each other in best ball right now. And the field had 12.5% at $6,400. and 9.5% at 7,600. So this is similar to ADP a little bit. And then you can see the amount of points that were scored. And then we can see the percentage ownership by these top players. Most of them did the full 150 lineups, but I didn't check player by player. I just took, 9 of the top guys so that you guys can get an idea of how they do this. All right. Let's start with McLovin at quarterback, right? So you can see, why is that like that? This used to give you the highest. All right, so this is all his ownership, I guess, right? 15, 30, 45, 60, 72, 73, 79. Yep, 80. I mean, this is pretty much it. This is who we had. And you can see that he didn't have more than 15% of anyone. And this is for 1 week at the quarterback position. You can see that 15% gave him almost 2x on Kyler. It gave him 2x on Josh Allen. It gave him 2x on Matt Ryan. He was about even on Jalen Hurts. He was almost 2x on Sam Darnold. So you can see a strategy at the quarterback position. And it's funny because for, my target highest ownership for quarterback for best ball is 15%. All right, let's look at petty theft next. And I don't know why it's not giving the highest first, like this used to do, but you can see he was more willing to go heavy. 26, 22, 16, but still on a 1 week sample, look at all the different quarterbacks who he tried and mixed in. The whistle woo-woo, even more. I mean, this guy didn't go over 9.3% on anybody at quarterback. Awesemo. Now, Awesemo, he went heavy this week. Giant Squid. Again, 15% tops. B. Kreider, 27 tops on Kyler. And why? Because Kyler was one of the highest owned guys. If you wanted, and you can see 3x. He aimed right at 3x. So you're starting to see a trend. Al Smizzle, I don't know if Al played all the lineups, but he went a third. Now, Papa Gates and Chipotle tend to be more aggressive. But as you can see, this time they didn't. All right, let's look at running back. You go over to running back in the field. Mostert was the most owned. That was the week Mostert got hurt. It'll be fun. Did I not play this one? Thought I played this one. All right. Anyway, you can see 32% the highest, right? Petty theft, though, thought Christian McCaffrey was a steal, 83%. So let's talk about, let's go over, see if there's any questions. So Petty went 83%. There's a 1 week sample. He thought that Christian McCaffrey was one of the best plays on the slate. The whistle woo-woo, 46% Mike Davis, and then 20s. Najee, 40%. So you see them taking a big ownership at running back. And what they're doing is they're mixing their quarterbacks to try and take advantage of who they think the best play on the slate was. Now, the difference is this is a salary. In the NFL, if you put 66% on best ball on Kamara and a first-round pick and he gets hurt, you're dead in the water. So that part doesn't translate over. But you can see how the goal here is to blend in your highest owned guys with So 45%, 66. I almost only played a couple lineups. Let's take him out of here. Papa Gates, 74% Mike Davis. Chipotle, 64% Mike Davis. Let's go to what? So basically what they're doing is they're blending teams. Now, let's go and look at wide receiver. Marquez Callaway. Remember him when he was popular? 23%. Marvin Jones, 18%. And you can see, a couple guys have a high ownership on one guy, but most of them are blending. Tight end. You do tend to see big ownerships. And you see because there was a lot of money in the week, everyone tried to get it with high quarterback. So what you're seeing here is that people are trying to get and blend a lot of different quarterbacks with high-owned plays. In best ball, you can't really do that. So there are other weeks. Let me see if I can find another week. Give me a second here. I'm going to go back in. Let's try a different week. Let's try one later in the year. And salaries are a lot tougher. All right. Play. Everything's moving slow. I really don't like the changes they made. Or some of the other names. Awesome Giant Squid. Oh. Sorry, this is kind of ponderous. All right, so you get to see. Let's go back to quarterback. And you see again, well, McLovin doesn't look like he paid a lot of lineups. The point is that these guys aren't going 70, 80, 90% on guys for the most part. They're mixing their exposure. They're getting a lot of different people, except for DeAndre Swift this week here. So I don't know that I'm making my point as much. I did this every week for a year with the slant, and you found it very, very interesting. You blend it a lot more. So let's go now and stop sharing that, and let's go look at my spike week ownership. Actually, let's just go look at underdog. So what I'm trying to do and I think it's underused, is I'm trying to find the best lineups overall. So you look, I've got 14%, 14%, 14%, 12%, but it's who goes into those lineups. When you look at running back, 17% my highest owned, right? That's 2x. But it's about trying to find the right combination and taking advantage of values in the deal while you're drafting. You can see Pitts 15%, Goddard almost 15%. So, I mean, that's it. It's a short pod today. I just wanted to cover that, why I do it, and what I'm hoping to accomplish. I'm trying to make, like, if I get to week 15 or 16, I want to have 9 or 10. When I get to week 16, I'm hoping to have 9 or 10 lineups, each one kind of unique, because what you're looking for is that big winning week, right? You're looking for that winning week. So let's look at something else real quick here. I'm not going to show a lot of details on this, but if you look at the points from last year and you look at week 17 and you look at the 55 points that Chase put up and the 39 points that Burrow put up, I want to have a chance at that team. I don't feel that I need to have 7 Burrow lineups, because it might be like a week 15 where it's a Kels Mahomes stack that wins it. So that is kind of the thought process behind this. I don't know that this podcast came off necessarily as neat as I wanted to with the DFS things, because they changed that Roto Grinders thing, and I can't find the slants, which is where people tend to mix up their exposures more. But we are trying to win tournaments, but we want to do it smart. Any questions, let me know on Twitter, and I will see you guys soon.